Tonight on OC News, April marks Stress Awareness Month, and clubs around campus organize stress-free events. Plus, former President Donald Trump faces serious charges in court. And streaming services make pricing changes. All of these and more coming up.
This just now in tech news, the first responder on
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts
feel
over the
blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the Broadcast Journalism students at Cal State
Fullerton.
OC News starts right now.
Well, happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to OC News. I'm Julius Choi.
And I'm Andres Webster. Thank you for joining us this evening. OC News is brought to you by the journalism students here at Cal State Fullerton. Did you know that April is Stress Awareness Month? This week I had the opportunity to attend one of the events in campus intended to help students de-stress. Let's take a look.
This past Tuesday, 3 different clubs collaborated to help students reduce any stress with a card-making event. The Care for Kids chapter in Cal State Fullerton helped organize the event, intending to help students relax and use the cards as donations to the school's counseling and psychological services. Christine Tsai is the president of the club, which is the only chapter of this nonprofit organization at any college.
Our mission here at Cal State Fullerton, the Cards for Kids at Cal State Fullerton, is to bring positive affirmation one card at a time. We definitely want to make that impact as small as it could be in a card for someone else in their lives or within their day.
This chapter of Cards for Kids does not only contribute to hospitals, schools, LGBTQ organizations, and local businesses, but they are also committed to make an impact in campus. Leah Jagin, the Sociology Club president, was also involved in the making of this event, as the club intends to bring awareness about mental health and stress.
It's easy to just watch people do self-care but not actually practice it. So Stress Awareness Month here, what we're doing here is one, to encourage CAPS through the card making, but also give a space for all of us to practice it on our own.
From coloring to making cards, Stress Awareness Month brings close to Cards Campus to collab together and bring events that can help students de-stress. Samarana Hassan, the president of the Psychology Department Student Association, believes social events can be a big help for students when it comes to dealing with stress.
They offer a place that you can also learn as well, but you get to communicate with other students. It provides a comfortable space because you're not necessarily graded for your work. I think it's a great positive environment.
Self-Care Day, Trivia Night, and Care Kit Making for the Homeless are some of the other events coming for students looking to relax in a social environment. In Fullerton, I'm Andres Webster for OC News.
ASI has recently established a new initiative to increase health and wellness resources for students on campus. Reporter Alexis Ray Johnson-Folks has the latest.
Definitely, over the course of my 4 years here, I've had a lot of struggles with anxiety and mental health, and I think that's definitely affected the way I've performed in school.
I would like, more student resources and some more stress relievers on campus. There's a lot of always hard times, so we might need a break sometimes, and our fees can go to some fun activities on campus that can help us out.
Created to improve CSUF students' health and wellness, the ASI Student Wellness Initiative wants to increase student success in and outside of the classroom.
We wanted to be able to hear their feedback and see what is it that they want out of ASI. Students are paying fees and they're paying for a lot of the resources and programs on campus. So what is it that they want to see change on campus, and how can we further serve our student body?
To improve academic performance, ASI leaders are identifying the challenges many students face and finding solutions to solve them.
I have the opportunity, and this is personal to me, to kind of create an initiative that people like, and at the end of the day is going to help not me, maybe not like the current student body, because it takes a while for these things to roll out, but help students generations after us.
The ASI Wellness Initiative continues to seek student voices and hopes to start implementing these proposals in the near future. Presentations and surveys are still being conducted, but once completed in the coming weeks, ASI board members hope to move towards fulfilling some of these solutions. Alexis Ray reporting from Cal State Fullerton, OC News.
The CAPS team on campus are now offering drop-in groups for students dealing with mental health issues. Reporter Cody Liu has more.
The Mayo Clinic Health System shows a recent study that nearly 1 in 3 college students suffer with anxiety every day. The Counseling and Psychological Services team are now offering drop-in groups that deal with mental health issues, including eating concerns and body image support, soulful wellness, art of wellness, and anxiety support groups. I talked to the CAPS team members, and they talked about how these drop-in groups are designed specifically for students as they look at trends to see what the diverse groups of students here at CSUF need for their mental health. CSUF student Alondra Noguera talks about how happy she is that mental health issues like anxiety are being tackled on campus.
I think it's great. I think everyone should have access to free mental health, especially for people who can't afford that throughout their health insurance and things like that. And especially in college with hard classes and that pressure that people have on themselves. I think it's great that they have an option at their same school to be able to go and help themselves mentally.
These drop-in groups meet every Tuesday and Wednesday at Titan Hall with a counseling specialist to go over what students need to help cope with their mental health issues like body image, depression, or anxiety. You can check out all the latest information on these drop-in groups on the CSUF CAPS Instagram or go on the CSUF CAPS website. This is Cody Liu, OC News.
For the past few decades, there have been many threats made to schools all around the United States. Reporter Christian Rabataro tells us how the Cal State Fullerton Police Department prepares to fight such threats.
In the last few decades, the safety of schools and universities have been in question due to all the shootings that have been occurring all around the United States. Cal State Fullerton is no exception, and with many scares happening in this last semester alone, it raises the question, are we prepared in the event of an actual threat? Although confident we are ready, the captain of police at CSUF, Scott Willey, recommends that students be mentally prepared for a shooter on campus.
But what we ask is that you get yourself mentally prepared beforehand. So whether that's in your class and you talk about it as a classroom and here's what we're going to do, or you yourself say, okay, if that happens, and we teach run, hide, or fight.
These threats that happen every day at a national level create concerns that rumble all the way down to our local universities. Based on these concerns, Captain Willie had this to say.
So we're constantly preparing for an active shooter. We'd rather it never happen, but we plan for the day that it may, in our minds, that it will happen.
Although tactics in dealing with such a threat varies from state to state, Captain Willie explains what the strategy is at CSUF.
So if I get to a building and I hear gunshots, I'm going in, no matter what. I don't wait for backup. I don't wait for anybody. I tell them I'm heading in, and then I go and I try to handle business and I try to eliminate the threat or at least put out the information.
One student, Isaiah Ruiz, shared his thoughts on the safety of the campus.
I do feel safe on campus. Every time I come here, I don't really feel like I've ever really been threatened by anybody or anything. In case of a shooting, though, I would do whatever I can to stay safe and keep others safe. You just don't know where this person's mental state is at.
Finally, Captain Willie had one last piece of advice for those who might feel threatened.
Trust your instincts. If something is bothering you, hair on your neck stands up and you go, something not right about this, I should call somebody, call us.
For OC News, I am Christian Robotaro.
Did you know our police department uses the text 911 technology? Kenny Nelson has the report.
The world has been affected by tons of mass shootings over the years in everyday places. Captain Scott Wiley spoke with me this morning how important safety means for everyone at the university.
Well, the biggest thing that you said there is how can they be aware? And that's the one thing that we try to train our students on, is to just know that unfortunately this is maybe something that could happen here someday.
The CSUF Police Department does have the Text 911 feature available for students here on campus. While many students do not know that it is available, there unfortunately is no recent updates on how efficient it really is.
To date, I don't know that we've ever received any text, even though it's been, because it's a little well known. I mean, they tried to promote it as much as possible, but there's still people that don't know that you can actually text 911. They were trying to give the ability to also send video, like you can record what you're seeing, and I don't think we're there yet. I haven't heard any updates on that.
I spoke with Will Fighter, a student at Cal State Fullerton, asking his thoughts about all of the shootings. Here's what he had to say.
Whether it's mental health or some sort of gun legislation, that's not for you to decide, but
something needs to be done. We can't just sit here and watch as kids are killed or, they live in fear going to school. It's not right.
Jessica Collins, a student here at Cal State Fullerton, witnessed a mass shooting firsthand and provided detail on what it was like.
Kind of a first-hand witness to the shootings that happened at the UCA apartment. A few weeks ago, I heard the gunshots, and that was the first time that my safety was truly threatened. And so now hearing about all of the school shootings and all the weapon shootings, it's more real to me, and how much I care and focus on that kind of thing.
In Captain Scott Wiley's words, students should know how to trust their instincts and hope students will notify an emergency before it's too late. I'm Kenny Nelson, OC News.
Coming up, former President Donald Trump is indicted by a grand jury in New York.
Plus, a riverwalk could be coming to Orange County. We'll look into that and more after the break.
I have a question about
Former President Donald Trump is back in the news, but this time he's in some legal trouble. The former president was charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. The information of this low-level felony was released on Tuesday by the Manhattan District Attorney of New York. Trump will plead not guilty in court. These charges are based on the reimbursements to Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, for the hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels, made in 2016. The Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg released documents outlining a much larger scheme that Trump and his team had organized to avoid negative press during the campaign. The scheme also brought to light the hush money payment to a second woman who was apparently having an affair with the former president.
The city of Anaheim looks to invest and transform a portion of the Santa Ana River Trail. Reporter Brian Pineda has the details.
Anaheim city officials, along with county and state officials, hope to transform around a mile of the Santa Ana River Trail into a community amenity and tourist destination.
You would have the kind of river experience that you see in other cities across the country. Folks may be familiar with San Antonio or in Denver or in Portland, where you actually have all this dynamic activity built around a river, and that really becomes part of a city.
Imagine riding your bike to Honda Center to catch a game, or kayaking right along the Santa Ana River with Angel Stadium in the background. Well, OC Riverwalk promises just that, a project that might come to Anaheim that imagines to connect community, connectivity, recreation, and nature all at once.
There is water activities, kayaking, canoeing, pleasure boats, and things like that. So if you look around, that's what we wanted to try and create here. This river has been here for years. It's a big part of our city. It's a big part of our county, but it never has played that role that you see rivers playing in other cities.
Santa Ana River does have water right now as a result of recent rain. However, this is not always the case during the year. Where would they get the water in the river during the low rainfall season?
What we would do is we would essentially create a lake within the river. You would use inflatable dams that would serve as walls. We would take water from the existing water system.
The OC Riverwalk is still in the planning stages, but city officials involved in the project hope that residents and visitors will be able to enjoy a new enhanced riverwalk along the city in the coming decade or years. From Anaheim, I'm Brian Pineda, reporting for OC News.
Cal State Fullerton's College of the Arts will host their final weekday showing of its opera Street Scenes this Friday at the Clay's Performing Arts Center. I recently spoke with the director and conductor of the opera to give us a preview of the showing.
Kurt Weill's Street Scenes is about a group of families who live inside a tenement in 1940s New York and shows a glimpse of each of their personal lives, conversations, and hidden gossip. This three-act opera is filled with humor, drama, and tragedy.
When ordinary people like myself think about operas, we think about different individuals singing in different pitches, different tones, while classical music is being played in the background. Yes, the same elements do apply in Street Scenes, but this particular opera, it's a little unique.
It blends all these different styles. We have elements of classical opera like Puccini and Wagner, and then another number will sound like a big band from the 1940s, and then we have other pieces that just sound like purely like musical theater from the same era.
Professor Kimo Furumoto is the orchestra director for the School of Music and the main conductor for Street Scenes, and he describes this production as a Broadway/American opera, which combines the musical theater element of the US with the operatic component of Europe. Opera director for the College of Music, Dr. Carrie Jennings, described the past few weeks as grueling and expressed how the actors, the orchestra, the production crew, and the costume crew worked hard to create something majestic. He encourages students and members of the faculty to see the opera.
I think that people should come just to see their work. You know, this isn't about me as the director. To see our wonderful School of Music students and our wonderful music or our theater department students and see what they have done, because it's really, really beautiful work. And I'm really impressed with what our students have done.
Street Scenes will be shown at the Little Theater located inside the Clay's Performing Arts Center across from McCarthy Hall. Tickets are priced at $24 and the show starts at 7:30 p.m. For more information can be found on the CSUF College of the Arts webpage. Reporting for OC News, I'm Julius Troy.
The Residential Student Association is hosting a water conservation competition. Gwendolyn Miller has the latest report.
Hi, my name is Becca Calvillo. I'm the Assistant Director for Housing and Residential Engagement. And the Water Conservation Competition is hosted by the Residential Student Association. And it happened from March 5th to March 25th. And it was an incentive competition for all of our residents in housing to conserve water in the month of March. They could do this by reducing how much water they use in their apartment, shortening their showers, or when they brush their teeth. And it was just a way for us to try to conserve water in housing. And it was hosted by the Residential Student Association, which is like the student government for all the students here in housing. And the building that wins gets a prize sponsored by RSA.
So this is the first time there's ever been a water conservation competition in student housing and at Cal State University Fullerton.
Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm a first year in Cal State Fullerton, and my major is mechanical engineering, and I live on the 5th floor of Holly. And what I'm doing is less minutes, less hours, I guess, on showering, because I usually take an hour and a half in showering, so I use a lot of water. And I usually try to conserve now since we're last.
Coming in first place Titans, we got Acacia. Second place Manzanita, and third place Juniper. Continue saving water, Titans, and have a wonderful week. Signing off with OC News, this is Gwendolyn Miller.
Stick around because coming up, are streaming services getting too expensive?
And we'll take a look into sports where the season of two LA teams are winding down while another's just getting started. We'll be back after this break.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high.
Right. Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller. Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Streaming services are once again raising prices that are now comparable to conventional television. Ethan Michael has more on this story.
I was able to talk to some people who work in the film and television industry to get their perspective of where streaming is going and how students and people on a budget can help maneuver these new prices.
Kunga Sagar is a film graduate from the University of Santa Cruz. He is also an avid writer for the NCSC and Letterboxd, and must keep up with the trends of the streaming industry for his career.
With all like the increased prices and stuff and the ads in between the movies and shows, I think it's like you'd rather have cable because you're paying so much for HBO, Disney, Netflix, Hulu, and you kind of have to have all of them because they're spread out.
Shane O'Shaughnessy is a stage manager at Crimson Studios, who just got done shooting the second season of the hit Netflix show Lincoln Lawyer.
Get a couple friends and each pick one that you like. Either if you like multiple streaming ones, just each one pay for one, or if there's just one you guys want to share, just each pitch in $3 a month. Like you'll be chilling.
Special deals. Go for those student deals. Amazon Prime, you can get it for $4.99. I'm pretty sure some other services have something like that. As a student, you gotta hustle and you gotta do what you can to see these movies.
As you can see, there's always a way to move around new obstacles. It's just a matter of where to look and who to go to help you think outside the box.
I look into the sports world now. Here's Ryan Pineda with some on more local professional teams.
Thanks, Andres. I'm happy to be here. We start off with the most recent action in the NBA. The Western Conference has the most chaotic battle where one result could shift a few spots. The Los Angeles Lakers have come a long way during the season as they completely turned their chances around. The Lakers were on the road Tuesday night facing the Utah Jazz. Both teams were hot from the court from the start of the game, eventually taking the game into overtime. LeBron James would make a great impact during the overtime session, scoring 9 out of the 11 points in the Laker overtime run. James scored on a right-handed layup to put the Lakers up and sealing the deal 135-133. LeBron James and the Lakers showed up in crunch time and pulled the Lakers to a major victory. The Lakers are hanging tight but are looking to avoid the play-in tournament. The Lakers have their most important game of the season coming up tonight as they take on the LA Clippers for one final time. Stakes are high and it's crunch time for the purple and gold. We're only a week into the Major League Baseball season. Through the first 4 games of the Angels season, their pitching starters had allowed just 3 runs. Yesterday, the Angels hoped to continue their win streak. Unfortunately, that was not the case. The Angels were down 1-0 in the 4th when Jose Suarez threw an 89-mile-per-hour slider. Teoscar Hernandez crushed the pitch to 319 feet to straightaway center field. Bottom of the 5th, Suarez threw a fastball that blasted out a 3-run homer, putting the Angels in a 6-0 position. Suarez gave up one more hit, and Jaime Barria was called into action from the Angels bullpen and gave up a 2-run homer to A.J. Pollock, and 3 more runs later during the 7th inning. The Seattle Mariners defeated the Angels 11-2 on Tuesday night. Shohei Ohtani is making his second start of the season and is on the rubber this afternoon against the Mariners. Ohtani and the Angels look to bounce back. Now, let the sticks do the talking. We'll now jump into what has been happening in the National Hockey League. Following a 2-2 road trip, the Los Angeles Kings returned to downtown Los Angeles on Tuesday night to take on the scorching hot Edmonton Oilers. Oilers power play continued to operate at a peak efficiency. The visitors were up 1-0 in the second period. Going into the third period, at the 10 and 22nd mark, Kings Victor Arvizen tied the game with a slap shot. The game continued, and the Oilers' Lionel Dreystaw broke the tie with 7 and 29 seconds left in the third. With the Oilers on their third power play, Nugent Hopkins got the pass from Lyon, skated into the left faceoff circle, and snapped a shot under Copley's arm and scored. The Oilers scored twice with the one-man advantage and gave the Edmonton Oilers a 3-1 victory over the Los Angeles Kings on Tuesday night in a crucial game for playoff seeding. For all sport fans, we are excited to see how sport teams and their leagues finish their season and how others start off theirs. This wraps up our weekly sports updates. I'm Brian Pineda, and back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you, Brian. For our last story, oh, it's pretty cute. A pair of dogs whose bond is so close, they have weekly FaceTime chats. CNN's Jean Moose has more on this heartwarming story.
When's the last time someone was this excited to see you after a separation? Meet Rollo and Sadie. Watch them meet after being apart and check out their faces when they FaceTime. This is the video that had viewers howling. Sadie, a Husky and German Shepherd cross, and Rollo, a Rottweiler Shepherd mix, met during the pandemic when their owners moved into different apartments in the same house in the Canadian city of Edmonton.
Sadie's never really been the biggest fan of other dogs, but when she met Rollo, she whined and cried and laid down on her back like she'd just met the love of her life.
Every time they see each other, he goes insane.
But then Rollo's owner moved 3 hours away for a job opportunity.
We do FaceTime every Thursday night so the dogs can see each other.
The whining, the howling. Their reunions are joyous, and their owners are also best friends. They say there's a chance they'll all move back under the same roof, but until then...
That's your buddy, isn't it? Yeah, that's your buddy.
During our remote interview, it was more sound than sight that set them off. He began looking for her, headed for the window. Rollo and Sadie are the Romeo and Juliet of dogs. For never was a story of more woe than this of Sadie and her Rollo. Parting may be such sweet sorrow, but reunions are a ball. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
Thank you for joining us tonight on OC News. I'm Andres Webster. Our next telecast comes to you in just a few minutes at 5 p.m.
And I'm Julie Choi. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at Time TV. From all of us here at OC News, have a great night.